this is worth it.
Hello and welcome back to Fuserdama's struggles to fight vampires. These fucking vampires, man. They whooped my ass so many times. I finally decided to come down here and make a little bit of progress, see if I can actually kill the cell, and then you'll see how I end up beating the vampires later.
Give me some direction. I'll see to it.
So I don't know if it's specifically Cloud Kill that they're immune to, whatever kind of damage Cloud Kill does. But whatever the reason they're immune to Cloud Kill, I mean, the effect is the same.
Yeah, I hope this is worth it.
They're 100% immune to that spell. So you see me switch to Melt's Minute Meteors and Animate Dead. Although I don't have the good Undead Warriors yet, like the best ones, I still have fairly tanky ones.
Extend a bit of hospitality to his guests. Come, enter and be welcome at the season.
And the reason I went Melt's Minute Meteors over Flame Arrow is that it's more damage per second if you can hit with at least, I think, 3 of them. And I believe they hit as +5 weapons, so they can hit enemies that ordinarily you would unable to hit. Yeah, you know what I mean. If you haven't used that tactic before, haste all your summons. They obviously get 1 extra attack per round, which significantly improves their damage output.
Excellent day for whatever.
Give me some direction. Lie.
You saw how easy that was. I hit him with 4 Minute Meteors. I still have plenty left. And I think they were doing about 11 damage per hit. So if you hit with 4 in a round, then I mean you can reasonably assume that you're going to be doing around 44, 45 damage per round,
Give me
which is
something
quite
that's
good.
Probably best left to me.
I am the predator that lives amongst you.
I'm waiting. Yeah. Hold still.
And for whatever reason, Tenovo seems to be immune to their weapons. I don't know what it is about her that makes her immune to those weapons, but she is. And that dang domination spell, they can't really do any normal damage to me, but they sure as hell can get that dominate to affect me a lot.
Give me some direction. I'll see to it. Hold still. I'm waiting. It's done.
you might say to yourself, why is he even bothering with this? The reason is why he's, is that crazy amount of XP in the kill feed. They're worth 8,500 apiece. These small ones, and I'm sure Tanova is worth significantly more. Probably at least 5,000 XP more than that. The other major reason why these skeleton warriors are worse than the next tier up, the level 15 ones, is because they don't have nearly as high of magic resistance.
I am the predator.
With the other ones, you can just spam your skull traps right on top of them, and they'll be fine.
Hold still. Yeah. Yeah.
So you saw there, I switched to a different tactic. I took out the other vampires first, and then I switched to my staff, which could hit Tanova, and just started wailing on her. It would obviously be more effective if I had haste going.
Give me some direction.
I also am not proficient with it right now because obviously I'm a mage and I haven't taken a proficiency in it
I
yet.
am the predator that lives amongst you.
It's done. Yeah, I hope this is worth it.
But I was doing good damage to her, so I decided, you know, this is probably the tactics that's gonna work. So I just started wailing on her.
Yeah, I hope this is worth it. Give me some. Yeah, I'll see to it.
I am the predator that lives amongst you.
That damn domination spell. I guess your saving throws reset when you multi-class or dual class.
I
So
am
that's
the
probably why I'm
predator
being,
that lives amongst you.
I'm having such a hard time resisting this spell.
Waiting. Hold still. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And there we go, we finally did it with a critical hit. It appears that those minute meteors are affected by your strength score, because I noticed my damage, my physical damage from those were quite a bit higher when I did my draw upon Holy Might. So they must be considered a sling or another ranged weapon that gets bonuses from your melee, from your strength.
Must be done.
Well, now that I come to think of it, they're probably treated the exact same way as a dart, seen as the animation is the same.
To his guests, come.
It's probably best left to me. Hey, not a concern.
So this is where I finally go in and read about Melf Sasadero and realize how shitty it really is. It used to have utility back in the original Baldur's Gate 2 because it was one of the few lower level spells that could kill trolls because it was acid damage. And you might be wondering why that is less significant now. It's because Chromatic Orb actually does acid damage now. They changed that in the enhanced editions. It's a really, really good change. And that change to Chromatic Orb by itself, in my opinion, makes the Avenger, the Druid kit, a really, really powerful spellcaster. If only he got those skeleton warriors, he would be, you know, just overpowered.
Yeah, I'll see to it.
And those skeleton warriors do good damage, but that's not the reason why you want them. The reason you want them is because as undead, they're immune to most crowd control. They last for 8 hours apiece, and they also, I mean, they're just super helpful, in addition to the magic resist that I was talking about before. With the exception of maybe Breach and lower resistance, I think they're the level 5 spell that scales the best into the end game. Like, you will use these if you're playing in this sort of style all the way through Throne of Ball till the very end of the game.
Yeah.
You'll cast less of them, and you'll start replacing them with Mordenkainen's swords, and obviously the Planetar. Once you get it, those are obviously just steps up. But at the same time, those don't last as long, and they can, or at least the Planetar can be affected by some crowd control. And primarily, she is worse against the Illithids because she can be intelligence drained to death.
It's done.
So if any of you know where I can find scrolls of Mordenkainen's sword and improved haste, those are really the ones that I'm missing that I really want. If you know where any of those are outside of the Underdark, then let me know and I'll be sure to go get those. I would really like them. As of recording this, I have my fighter levels back, so my character's just a melee beast. I'm going to try to get as many videos up today as possible because I'm going out of town for a week and I won't be able to record, so I'm going to try to get, you know, at least 3 up today, probably more than that, although I am kind of busy, but we'll see. But anyway, my point is, if you know where those scrolls are, I won't have time to go and find them myself off camera, so I would really like you know, any help you guys can give me.
Your chattering's starting to wear on me nerves.
As you see me check all the merchants that sell scrolls, and I don't find them. I've checked the bookkeeper in above the Den of the Seven Veils. I check the woman that sells scrolls inside the Adventure Mart. I check Bernard in the Copper Coronet. I checked the smithy at Trade Meat. I can't think of anywhere else.
Scream! Scream for mercy!
So I know that I answered that correctly. That guy's name is Grayson, but I think I have too low of a charisma in order to convince him. That's one of the few dialogues options that are different if you have low charisma. At the time, I didn't make that connection because I really had never run into that before. But there's another quest that I do later, part of the Mavar Guildhall stuff, in which low charisma becomes a factor.
Hello, me good smiling friends.
What is it?
So I was gonna go north there, but I didn't really want to deal with Nira right now. Although I do it later, and I forgot that there isn't really an encounter in order to begin her quest.
I hope this is worth it. Yeah, I'll see to it. It's done.
That's another quest that I've never done fully. Hers, anything for Rasad, anything for Dorn. I did Hexat's tomb one time, but I'm really inexperienced with those new characters because ever since the enhanced editions came out, I've kind of been a sucker for these solo playthroughs. So if you want to see some of that stuff that requires having a specific party member in your group, then let me know. I can go through, one at a time, pick up the henchmen or the party members and do their character specific quests. Like I said before, I think Jaheira's quest is probably going to be helpful because I seem to remember excuse me, in the fight with Baron Ployer, he has a spellcaster, or maybe there's a locked something or other that has a good scroll in it, and that's the only way that you can get into that derelict home. No, come to think of it, it must be on his mage henchman, because you can get into that derelict home without Baron Ployer being there. I have no idea what scroll it is, but I seem to remember it was good. Or maybe it was just one playthrough and I got lucky and it just stuck in my memory.
If it must be done.
I welcome you with outstretched hand.
Hello?
So here I'm going to go talk to the paladin that can help that young girl. And then from then I think this video is done. And in the next one, I believe we are doing the undead crypts here with the vampires.
Helm sees all.
So thank you for watching. If you have any feedback for me, please leave it in the comments or on Reddit or whatever. I'm not too hard to get a hold of. And again, thank you for watching.
Helm sees all. Know that and be judged.
I trust you are here in good faith.